Oh my God. Do not move. Stop what you're doing right now. I'm holding a quarter that's worth $35,000. Yes, you heard that right. This 25-cent coin just sold at auction for $35,000. And here's the insane part. I found it in my pocket change last week. I was about to put it in a parking meter when something caught my eye. I looked closer and I literally started shaking. This is the 2004 Wisconsin State quarter with the extra leaf error, and it's one of the most valuable quarters you can find in circulation today, but that's just coin number one. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you 10 quarters worth thousands, some even worth more than the Wisconsin, and they're all findable in your change right now. I'm talking quarters from the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, 2000s, and even quarters from 2019 that are worth $500 each. These aren't ancient rare coins locked away in museums. These are coins that could be in your pocket, your car cup holder, your laundry room change jar, or the $10 roll of quarters you got from the bank yesterday. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to pause this video right now. Yes, right now, and go grab every quarter you have. Empty your pockets, check your purse, raid your piggy bank, look in your couch cushions, check your car, everywhere. Because I guarantee that 90% of you watching this video have never looked closely at your quarters. And there's a very real chance you're sitting on hundreds or even thousands of dollars and you don't even know it. Okay, got your quarters? Good. Now stay with me for the next 40 minutes because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, how to identify these valuable quarters, real auction prices, where people have found them recently, and most importantly, what to do if you find one today. I'll even show you my personal system for searching through quarters that's helped me find over $8,000 in rare coins in just the last 6 months. Welcome to World Pocket Coins, where I help regular people like you find extraordinary wealth in ordinary pocket change. I'm on a mission to find every valuable coin still in circulation, and today, we're hunting quarters. This is going to be the most valuable 40 minutes you've spent all year. Let's dive in. All right, let's talk about the king of valuable state quarters, the 2004 Wisconsin Extra Leaf. This is the quarter that started my obsession with coin hunting. And when you hear this story, you'll understand WHY.in 2004. The U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. The design shows a cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn, representing Wisconsin's agriculture. Seems normal, right? The Denver Mint produced 226 million of these quarters. The Philadelphia Mint made 226 million more. These were everywhere, but then something absolutely crazy happened. Collectors started finding quarters that looked different. On the corn stalk, there was an extra leaf. A leaf that wasn't supposed to be there. Not on one coin, not on 100 coins, but on thousands of coins that had already entered circulation. The numismatic community went absolutely insane. How did this happen? The most accepted theory is that a mint employee accidentally created a die with this extra leaf, and it went into production before anyone noticed. By the time they caught it, thousands of error quarters were already in circulation. But here's where it gets even crazier. There are two varieties of this error. The extra leaf high, where the extra leaf points upward at a high angle, and the extra leaf low, where the extra leaf points downward at a lower angle. And guess what? They're both worth thousands. Let me show you exactly how to identify these. Pull out any 2004 Wisconsin quarters you have. We're looking at the reverse side, the back of the coin. You see the ear of corn on the left side? It has normal leaves coming out of it. Now, on the extra leaf varieties, there's an additional leaf between the main corn stalk and the leftmost leaf on the extra leaf high variety. This extra leaf curves upward and is positioned higher. It looks like it's reaching toward the top of the coin. On the extra leaf low variety, the extra leaf curves downward and is positioned lower, almost touching the bottom leaf. here's the critical part. You need magnification to see this clearly. Don't trust your naked eye. A 10x magnifying glass costs less than $10 on Amazon, and it could help you spot a $35,000 quarter. I use a jeweler's loupe, and I'll show you exactly which one at the end of this video. Now let's talk value, because this is where your jaw is going to drop. In 2006, just 2 years after these quarters were released, an extra leaf high sold for $1,500. People thought that was crazy. By 2008, they were selling for $3,000. In 2010, a high-grade example sold for $6,000. Then in 2020, during the pandemic, collectors went nuts. A PCGS MS67 Extra Leaf Low sold $4.10,000. But the record sale happened in 2022. A nearly perfect extra leaf high-graded MS68 by PCGS sold at Heritage Auctions for $35,000. $35,000 for a quarter. And even circulated examples, quarters that show where from being spent, sell for $300 to $500 every single day on eBay. I'm going to show you real eBay screenshots right now. Look at this, sold 3 days ago, extra leaf low, circulated condition, for $125. Here's another, extra leaf high, PCGS MS64, sold for $2,800. Here's one more, raw coin, not certified, extra leaf low, sold for $350. These are real sales happening right now, and people are still finding these. Just last month, someone posted in a Facebook coin group that they found an extra leaf high in a roll of quarters from their bank. They got it graded, came back MS65, sold it for $3,200. Another person found one in their change from a grocery store in Milwaukee. Another found one in a coin-operated laundry machine. Here's what you need to know. Approximately 50,000 to 100,000 of each variety exist. That sounds like a lot, but think about it. There are 330 million people in the United States. Most of these quarters are sitting in jars, forgotten in drawers, or still circulating. Your odds of finding one are way better than winning the lottery. So right now, I want you to look at every 2004 Wisconsin quarter you have. Most of these quarters are sitting in jars, forgotten in drawers, or still circulating. Your odds of finding one are way better than winning the lottery. So right now, I want you to look at every 2004 Wisconsin quarter you have. Check the corn stalk. Use magnification. Compare it to normal examples online. If you see that extra leaf, do not spend it. Put it in a protective holder immediately, and we'll talk about authentication later in this video. Okay, let's move to quarter number 2. And this one has the best name in coin collecting, the 1999 Delaware Spitting Horse. I'm not kidding, that's what collectors call it. The 1999 Delaware State Quarter was the first state quarter ever released, kicking off the 50 state quarters program. The design shows Caesar Rodney riding a horse, representing his famous ride to cast the deciding vote for American independence. Beautiful design, right? But on some of these quarters, there's a die crack error that makes it look like the horse is spitting. There's a raised line coming out of the horse's mouth that looks exactly like the horse is spitting or vomiting. It's hilarious and extremely valuable. This error is caused by a die crack, a crack in the metal die used to strike the coins. As the die deteriorates, it creates raised lines on the coins. On the spitting horse variety, this crack runs from the horse's mouth across the field of the coin. Now here's what makes this valuable. It's dramatic and very visible. You don't need magnification to see this error. If you have a 1999 Delaware quarter where it looks like the horse is spitting, you can see it with your naked eye. Values range from $500 for a moderate die crack in circulated condition, up to $3,000 for a dramatic die crack in uncirculated condition. Some graded examples with extreme die cracks have sold for over $5,000. I found one of these at a gas station in 2023. Paid for a soda with a $5 bill. Got this quarter in my change. Saw the spitting immediately and nearly ran out of the store screaming. Got it graded. Came back MS63 with a strong die crack. Sold at $4 one. 200. Quarter number 3 is the 2005 Minnesota double die tree error. And this one is stunning when you see it under magnification. The Minnesota quarter shows a forest of trees and a lake. On the double die variety, the trees show strong doubling. You can see two overlapping images of the tree trunks and branches. It's most visible on the tallest trees in the center of the design. This error is caused when the die receives multiple impressions during manufacturing, slightly offset from each other. The result? Doubled images on the coins. The Minnesota double die is particularly valuable because it's dramatic and it's from a relatively recent year, 2005. People still have these quarters. They're in change jars all over America. Values range from $1,000 for a moderate doubling in circulated condition up to $5,000 for strong doubling in MS65 or higher grade. A perfect MS67 example sold in 2021 $4.6. 800. To identify this, you need to look at the tree trunks under magnification. If you see what looks like two trees overlapping, two separate outlines, you've got the double die. Normal quarters have crisp, single outlines. Quarter number 4 is super cool, the 2004 Iowa rotated reverse die error. This is also called a rotated die error or misaligned die error. On a normal quarter, when you flip the coin from top to bottom, the reverse design should be perfectly upright. But on these error quarters, when you flip it, the reverse is rotated, it's not aligned correctly. It might be rotated 15 degrees, 45 degrees, or even 180 degrees upside down. This happened at the mint when a die wasn't properly aligned in the press. Coins were struck with the misaligned die before anyone noticed. The Iowa quarter shows a schoolhouse and a teacher planting a tree. On rotated die examples, when you flip the coin vertically, the reverse is tilted or rotated instead of being straight up and down. Values depend on the degree of rotation. A slight rotation of 10 to 15 degrees might be worth $250. A dramatic rotation of 90 degrees can be worth $1,500 or more. A 180-degree rotation, completely upside down, sold $4.3000. To check for this, hold the quarter so the front is facing you, with Washington's head upright. Now flip the coin from top to bottom, like closing a book. On a normal quarter, the reverse design should be perfectly upright. On a rotated die error, it'll be tilted. Check every state quarter for this, not just Iowa. I've found rotated die errors on Connecticut, Tennessee, and Maryland quarters too. Quarter number 5 takes us back in time. The 1970 Washington quarter struck in silver proof, but released in mint sets by mistake. Here's the story. In 1970, the San Francisco Mint was making proof quarters for collectors. These were struck in 40% silver and sold in special proof sets. But somehow, some of these silver proof quarters accidentally got included in regular mint sets, which were supposed to only contain clad, copper nickel, quarters. These silver proof quarters have an S, mint mark, and a mirror-like proof finish. They're incredibly rare because only a small number escaped in the mint sets before the error was caught. Here's how to identify them. First, check for an S, mint mark on the front, just behind Washington's neck. Second, look at the surface. It should have a bright, mirror-like shine, not a dull finish. Third, do the sound test. Silver quarters make a different sound than clad quarters. Tap it with another coin or drop it on a hard surface. Silver rings with a high, bell-like tone. Clad quarters make a dull thud. If you have a 1970 S quarter with that S mint mark and mirror finish, you could have a coin worth $10,000 or more. Even lower grade examples sell for $3,000 to $5,000. If you have a 1970 S quarter with that S mint mark and mirror finish, you could have a coin worth $10,000 or more. Even lower grade examples sell for $3,000 to $5,000. Quarter number 6 is recent and exciting. The 2019 W quarters. These are West Point Mint quarters with a W mint mark, and they were released into circulation as a surprise treasure hunt. In 2019, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, the U.S. Mint did something unprecedented. They struck 2 million quarters at the West Point Mint in New York and released them directly into circulation. This had never been done before. West Point normally only makes commemorative coins and bullion, not circulation coins. These quarters cover all 5 2019 designs: Lowell, American Memorial Park, War in the Pacific, San Antonio Missions, and Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. Each design has approximately 400,000 W Mint quarters in circulation. The W Mint mark is on the front of the coin, to the right of Washington's ponytail, where you'd normally see P, D, or no mint mark. When these were released, the coin community went crazy. People were buying rolls and bags of quarters from banks, searching for the W mint mark. They were checking change at grocery stores, gas stations, everywhere. Current values range from $50 for the most common varieties in circulated condition, up to $500 for scarce varieties in high grade. Some graded MS-67 examples have sold for over $1,000. I found 7 of these in 2019 to 2020. Found them in bank rolls mostly, but also found 2 in change from a Walmart. Each one I found was worth $75 to $150. Here's the key: these are still circulating. You can still find them in 2025. Check every 2019 quarter for that W mint mark. Quarter number 7 is a classic error. The 1983 P. Washington quarter with NO mint mark. Normally, quarters from Philadelphia have a P mint mark. But in 1983, due to a mint error, some quarters were struck without any mint mark. No P, no D, no S, just blank. This is rare because the Philadelphia Mint had been using the P mint mark since 1980. These no mint mark quarters are leftover 1982 dies that were used in 1983 by mistake. To identify them, check quarters from 1983. Look where the mint mark should be, in front of Washington's ponytail. If there's NO letter there, and it's dated 1983, you've potentially found a valuable error. Values range from $500 for circulated examples up to $5,000 or more for high-grade uncirculated examples. A PCGS MS-67 sold for $8,500 in 2020. These are tough to find because most people don't look for them. Everyone's focused on state quarters. But there are still 1983 quarters circulating, especially in older coin jars. Quarter number 8 is a key date classic, the 1932 D. Washington quarter. 1932 was the very first year of the Washington quarter design, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. The Philadelphia Mint made $5.4 million. The San Francisco Mint made $408,000. But the Denver Mint? They only made $436,800. That low mintage makes the 1932 D extremely valuable. Even in heavily circulated condition, worn, dark, scratched, these are worth $500 minimum. In nice circulated condition, $1,000 to $3,000. And in uncirculated condition, $10,000 to $20,000. Look for quarters dated 1932 with a D mint mark below the eagle on the reverse side. These are rare and valuable. I've never found one in circulation. They're almost all in collections now, but I have found them at estate sales and flea markets where people didn't know what they had. Quarter number 9 is technically $1, but I'm including it because people confuse it with quarters all the time. The 2000 P. Sacagawea Cheerios dollar. In 2000, General Mills put Sacagawea dollars in boxes of Cheerios as a promotion. But the dollars in the Cheerios boxes were struck with a special, detailed reverse die, showing enhanced tail feathers on the eagle. These Cheerios dollars have a special pattern of tail feathers different from normal Sacagawea dollars. They're incredibly rare. Only 5,500 were distributed in cereal boxes. If you have a 2,000 P Sacagawea dollar with detailed, enhanced tail feathers, it could be worth $25,000. Even lower grade examples sell for $5,000 to $10,000. Many people spent these as quarters in vending machines because they're similar in size. Check any Sacagawea dollars you have, especially from 2000. Quarter number 10, the 1976 bicentennial quarter with errors. The 1976 bicentennial quarter celebrates America's 200th birthday. It has a special design showing a colonial drummer on the reverse. Most are worth 25 cents, but there are valuable varieties. First, the 1976 silver bicentennial quarter. These were made in 40% silver for collector sets, but some entered circulation. They're worth $500 to $2,000 depending on condition. Second, double die varieties. Some 1976 quarters show doubling on "In God We Trust" or the date. These are worth $200 to $1. 500. Third, off-center strikes. Some bicentennial quarters were struck off-center, with part of the design missing. Depending on how far off-center, these are worth $100 to $2,000. Check all your 1976 quarters for that mint mark, silver, doubling, or off-center errors. Okay, now let me show you my exact system for hunting valuable quarters. This is the method I use to search through hundreds of quarters per week, and it's how I found over $8,000 in rare coins. Step 1. Get quarters in bulk. I go to the bank every week and buy $100 to $200 in quarter rolls. That's 400 to 800 quarters to search. I also ask for customer-rolled quarters. These are quarters that customers brought to the bank in paper rolls. These often contain older coins. Step 2. Sort by date. I quickly sort all the quarters into piles by decade: 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. This helps me focus on the valuable years first. Step 3. Check key dates and mint marks. I look through each pile for specific dates and mint marks. 1932, D. 1970, S. 1983, P. No mint mark. 2019, W. etc. Step 4. Examine state quarters closely. I use a 10x loop and check 2004 Wisconsin for extra leaves, 1999 Delaware for spitting horse, 2005 Minnesota for doubling, and all state quarters for rotated die errors. Step 5. Check for errors. I look for off-center strikes, doubled dies, wrong planchets, quarters struck on dime planchets, penny planchets, etc., and die cracks. Step 6. Save anything suspicious. If I'm not 100% sure whether it's valuable or not, I save it for later research. Better safe than sorry. Step 7. Return the common quarters to the bank and repeat. I take all the common quarters back to the bank, exchange them for new rolls, and start again. Using this system, I found 3 2019 W quarters, 1 1999 Delaware spitting horse, 5 silver quarters from the 1960s, dozens of 1976 bicentennial quarters in nice condition, and hundreds of older quarters worth $1 to $5 each to collectors. Now let's talk about selling your valuable quarters. You have several options. Here's my challenge. In the next 7 days, search through 500 quarters. That's about $125 worth. I guarantee you'll find at least one quarter worth more than face value. Maybe it's a 2019 W worth $50, Maybe it's a silver quarter worth $5, or maybe, just maybe, it's a $35,000 Wisconsin extra leaf. Let me tell you one final story that will inspire you. In 2021, a high school student in Iowa was doing laundry at a laundromat. He needed quarters for the machine. He went to the change machine, put in a $10 bill, got 40 quarters. While loading the washer, he glanced at one of the quarters. It was a 2004 Wisconsin. Something looked weird. He looked closer. It was an extra leaf low. He immediately stopped doing laundry, went home, researched the coin, and sent it to PCGS for grading. It came back MS-64. He sold it for $2,400. That laundry money paid for his prom tuxedo, prom tickets, dinner, and he still had $1,800 left over. That could be you. That should be you. All it takes is paying attention, knowing what to look for, and checking your change. So here's what I want you to do right now. Leave a comment below telling me the oldest quarter you own. Just tell me the date. I'll reply to every single comment and let you know if it's valuable. I'll literally help you identify valuable quarters for free. And if you found this video valuable, if you learned something that could help you find money, smash that like button. It tells YouTube to recommend this video to more people, and you could help someone else discover a fortune in their pocket. Subscribe to World Pocket Coins for weekly videos on rare coins, valuable currency, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. I'm on a mission to help 1 million people find valuable coins, and I want you to be one of them. Before you go, I have a special gift for you. I've created a free downloadable checklist of the top 50 valuable quarters to look for, with photos, descriptions, and values. The link is in the description below. Download it, print it, and keep it with you when you're coin hunting. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, fortune favors the observant. Check your quarters, check your change, and I'll see you in the next video where I reveal 5 dimes worth $2 million that you can still find in pocket change. You won't want to miss it. Now go check your quarters. Your $35,000 coin is waiting to be found.